The story begins in wartime. We are introduced to the Republic of San Magnolia. They have been in a long war with the Empire of Gied. Their conflict has been going on for many years. During the war, both sides have started to use drones in the fights. These drones are not piloted by humans, so the Republic likes to brag that they are fighting a very humane war that does not have many deaths. This is just what they say to the public, but the truth is actually much worse. In reality, the Republic uses special drones called Juggernauts that are actually driven by humans. These humans are called 86 and are part of the Republic's District 86 that is not officially part of the Republic. The people from the district are often much poorer and have no choice but to join the program. Gladalina Milize is a special officer who commands the 86's soldiers in their battle. She is a commander who has been in charge of the soldiers for a while, but she is famous for actually treating the 86 soldiers as humans. She does not see them as just soldiers. One day, Lena becomes the leader of the Spearhead Squad. This is the most elite squad in the drone units. Only the best soldiers are part of this unit. The leader of the unit is called Shine Shin Nozen. He has a very scary nickname. He is known as the Undertaker. He has gotten this nickname because he is very cruel to commanders who arrive in his unit. Eventually, all the commanders give up and leave. Everyone who tried to be more controlling of Shin and his unit usually loses their mind and leaves very soon. We see them battling several drones and also fighting for their lives. During the battle, one of the pilots in the unit gets badly injured and cannot move. Shin survives and has no choice but to kill this pilot. That same night, Lena introduces herself to the Spearhead unit. This is where her adventure begins. Lena has now been the commander of the Spearhead unit for 1 week and things are going okay so far. Soon the Empire sends legions to attack the Spearhead and their base of operations. They now have no choice but to group up very fast and get into battle positions in their drones. Lena sees how the unit works together and also she notices how smart and cunning Shin is in battle. It's obvious that he is the best of the best. The battle is won and the Legion drones are defeated. After the fight is over, Lena goes to a class where she hears teacher narrating how the Gied Empire was destroyed by their own legions, and because they have a limited time limit, the war must end in about 2 years. The Legion drones will shut themselves off in about 2 years as that the war will end. He also talks about how they had 0 casualties until now, which pisses Lena, so she decides to join in on the lecture taking over it. She explains to the students that years ago, the Republic decided that the people that did not have white hair and white eyes were not worthy of being human. These poor citizens were then used to pilot the Juggernauts. They are now called the 86, and they have no human rights. Since the Republic does not count these people as human when they died, the Republic likes to pretend like they were not a casualty of war. Lena is very passionate about this topic and tells the students that the 86 are in fact very much real humans with real emotions and families. The government leaders who were in the class get angry at Lena. Lena is not too afraid of them because her uncle is a very important individual. She is certain that he will protect her from losing her job. Lena talks with her friend Annette and she tells her how impressed she is by Shin and his team. Lena continues to help the unit on the field, and while some of them like her, there are still a few pilots who do not like any commander. We are introduced to Koraha. She is very much angry and jealous of Lena because she saw her talk with Shin. Tanya is another pilot and she seems very interested in Lena. Not all members of the 86 program are the same. Lena is very much focused on making sure that her unit is safe while they fight. She wants a more detailed map of the battlefield so that she can help them during battle. Tanya and Lena talk, and Tanya wants to know why Lena cares so much about the soldiers of the Spearhead unit. Lena then reveals that while she was in battle as well, she was saved from certain death by an 86 pilot. At that moment, Lena realized that all the 86 pilots are very much human. From that day, Lena has decided to help them in any way she can. Tanya tells Lena that she should transfer before something bad happens, and this attitude that she has gets ruined. Soon another battle happens and Lena now has a better map to use to help the unit. The Spearhead drones can now take much better positions to fight. The battle is a very good victory, but unfortunately Tanya gets killed when her Juggernaut gets stuck in a swamp. Lena is very sad and apologizes to all the pilots in the Spearhead unit about the death of Kay. Lena very much blames herself for not realizing that there was swamp nearby. One of the pilots named Theodo gets really angry at Lena and starts to call her out. Theodo thinks that Lena only pretends to care about the pilots, but she is safe in her computer room while they die out there. Theodo thinks that Lena has no idea how it feels to be in a war situation, and also he confronts Lena about not even trying to learn their true names. She only calls them by their pilot number. Lena is heartbroken by this and starts to have an emotional breakdown. She truly feels like she failed her pilots and is a fraud. Raiden and the other pilots think that while Theodo was right, he was way too harsh and direct. The pilots are now sure that Lena will soon request a transfer and leave their unit forever. In the meantime, Lena goes to think alone about everything. She reflects on her ideals and she talks with her uncle and Annette. She soon realizes that Theoda was right. While she does care about the pilots, she still very much views herself above them. Lena talks with Shin in private and she apologizes for the way she acted. She then tells Shin to give her the real names of all the pilots in the Spearhead unit. Shin explains that in his original unit, the pilot who survived the longest had to keep all the names of the dead pilots and remember them forever. Shin has also become the pilot who survived the longest, so he has all the names of alive and dead pilots. He's in charge of keeping their memory alive as they were forgotten by everybody else, especially the Republic. Shin admits that he has a total of 561 names that he has collected while he has been a pilot. Shin also then connects Lena with the rest of the Spearhead members. Lena is very sorry for the way she acted and also for not being totally honest. Lena then wants all the pilots to give her their real names and she tells them her name in return. Theo is also sorry for attacking Lena and for being so harsh and brutal. The members of the Spearhead team accept Lena's apology and accept her as their commanding officer. That same night, Lena talks with Shin once more. Lena has realized that Shin has never told her his true name. Shin reveals his name to Lena and this reminds her of something. Lena asks Shin if he knows a person with the name Shorei Nozen. Shin confirms that Shorei is his brother. Lena then tells Shin that Shorei was the one who saved her life when a Legion drone attacked and killed her father. Lena also reveals that Shorei was really kind and a nice person. He just wanted to go back home to his brother Shin. Shin then tells Lena that the Legion drones are attacking once more. Lena is a bit confused as she has not gotten any information about a new attack. Shin tells Lena that she must cut her Pararaid link because of a Black Sheep Legion drone that can be very dangerous. Lena wants to still remain connected to Shin and help him. Soon the giant battle starts and Lena starts to hear many voices in her head. She is confused and suddenly she hears Tamiya and her last words. Lena is now totally scared by this. Lena starts to go into shock but manages to calm herself down even for a moment. She then gets into contact with Shin and he admits because of so many times that he almost died, he can now hear the voices of the dead from the Legion robots. This gives Shin his special power in combat. Because he can hear the voices, he can predict where the Legion robots will attack next. He also knows where the Legion robots will move and what is their pattern in battle. It's revealed that the Legion robots are programmed to be like a human brain. For that reason, the Legion drones can copy the brains of the people they have killed in battle. The Legion drones take the brainwaves of their last victim and put it into their own programming. The Legion that had adopted the decayed brain structure of dead humans capable of limited human intelligence called Black Ship. The superior model of this robot is the Shepherd, which adopted the undecayed brain structure of living or recently dead humans, capable of full human intelligence and leadership. It's the most dangerous Legion robot someone can face. Shin reveals that the Legion armies are much bigger than the Republic thinks, and also they can evolve a method to survive longer than just 2 years. Shin is certain that very soon the Republic will lose and get killed in the war. Lena is totally shocked by this, but decides to help Shin to destroy the Shepherd that commands the Legion. If they manage to destroy this Shepherd, they might be able to end the war. After the battle is over, it is revealed that Shin has a scar on his neck. The scar was created when his older brother Shorei tried to strangle him. We see flashbacks to the time where Shin was still young. This time period was 4 years ago, and young Shin goes to a war zone to find his brother Shorei. Shin only finds the corpse of his brother without his head. In the present, we see the Legion robots evolve in battle, and they manage to attack the Spearhead unit more dangerously. 2 pilots, Daya and Lekka, lose their lives in battle as the Legion robots outsmart them and kill them. Shin has to finish off Daya as she is still alive. He doesn't want Legion drones to take and use her brain for information. Shin is very much focused on trying to find Shorei's head that has been missing. Shorei is revealed to be very cruel, at least to Shin. It's Lena's birthday, so she celebrates with Annette. Annette reveals that the pilots of the 86 would have to be killed if their Pararaid devices had a very strange reaction. Their brains would have to be studied. Lena wants her uncle to offer more military support to her Spearhead unit and also new pilots. Her uncle refuses this offer and he orders Lena and the Spearhead unit to attack a Legion base of operations that is still being built. Lena has no choice but to listen to his orders. Shin also agrees to do the mission and he is very much aware that it's really a trap. Lena suddenly realizes that the time she's been spending with Shin is very important. She's maybe falling in love with him. The Revolution Festival is happening and Lena decides to get some fireworks for her unit of pilots so that they can join the fun. Lena is very much still trying to get supplies and more pilots to help out her unit. Her uncle agrees even if he does not really want to send them more reinforcements. The supplies are sent to the Spearheads and Anju goes to talk with Kurin in private. They talk about Daya and how she died. Anju has been feeling really traumatized since that happened and she thinks that maybe she should tell Lena about the real secret of the Spearhead unit. Shin and Raiden do not want to tell Lena something very important about the unit. They want to spare the heartbreak. The Spearhead pilots celebrate with the fireworks. After some time, they start to prepare for their attack on the Legion base. Suddenly, they start to get bombarded with long-range weapons. Many pilots die in this attack, and the one who survives has to run away from the Legion drones. Lena then demands even more reinforcements to help them out. Shin finally decides to tell her the truth. Spearhead is actually a suicide unit, which means that all the members that arrive here are meant to die so that they cannot return to the Republic. Spearhead pilots only get replaced when all the current ones die in battle. Lena is shocked by this and wants to know how they keep fighting if they know they will die. Raiden explains that while they know they will die, they at least want to have their pride as warriors. In the meantime, we see another unit of Juggernaut pilots get totally destroyed by a better and more evolved Legion drone. Shin talks with Raiden and tells him that he has heard Shorei and his voice when the new Legion started to attack. Shin really wants to face off against his late brother and kill him for a final time. In the meantime, Lena wants to learn more about the history of the Spearhead pilots and the unit as a whole. She finally learns that many previous versions of this same unit were sent on a special mission that was basically made to kill them all so they would not return to the Republic. Lena now realizes that her uncle is sending her pilots to certain death. When Lena goes for help to her friend Annette, she is surprised when Annette is angry at her. Annette reveals that her father did experiments on the 86 pilots and actually killed himself because of the guilt. Both Annette and Lena become furious at each other and break their friendship. Lena is also angry at her uncle and goes to beg him to cancel the mission for her unit. Her uncle explains that every 86 pilot units must be erased because if anyone would ever find out about the experiments that the Republic did to them, they would be blamed and the state would fall apart. Lena realizes that she cannot stop her unit from going on their mission. Lena says goodbye to Shin before the mission. Shin tells Lena that after he destroys Shorei, who is now a shepherd, he will make the legions totally confused and lose control. The day of the mission arrives and the last members of the Spearhead unit get ready. There are only a few pilots: Shin, Raiden, Kurina, Theodo, and Anju. In the meantime, Shorei prepares for his own attack and wants to put Shin into the Legion program. The Spearhead pilot starts to fight the Legion drones. The battle is very hard and Shin attacks Shorei directly. They start to fight one-on-one and soon Shorei proves that he is far too strong for Shin. He just has too much armor and Shin cannot attack. Shin gets knocked out and his Juggernaut is badly damaged. Soon after that, Lena goes to Annette once more and reveals that Shin and his brother had various experiments done on them. Annette agrees to hack the Republic system and gives it to Lena so that she can use it in battle. With this system, Lena fires off many rockets at her enemies, which helps Shin and his other pilots. Many Legion drones get damaged and even Shorei is slowed down. Shin manages to wake up and destroy his brother. Shorei in his last moments regains his sanity and says sorry to his brother. The Legion drones in that area are destroyed. Spearhead pilots decide to leave the Republic borders and find a new home and freedom far away from the war. Lena realizes that the Spearheads are leaving without her. She can just watch them leave and soon they totally disappear. The Spearhead pilots are finally free from the Republic's control and they go into another land. They manage to avoid the Legion drones and soon they reach a river and they decide to take a rest. They all relax and explore the Imperial town that has been empty for years. Shin is relaxed and happy now that Shorei is free. The following morning, Shin kills a black sheep drone that he heard very nearby. After that, he tells his crew that he wants to find a place where the Legion has not yet arrived so they can live in peace. The Spearhead Juggernauts start to fight Legion drones and soon only one Juggernaut is working. Fido cannot move as well, so the Spearheads have to leave him behind. Soon after that, the pilots realize that all their supplies have been destroyed. Spearhead arrives at another empty Imperial town. Shin goes the following morning and using the last Juggernaut, he fights Legion drones long enough for the rest of the pilots to escape. Shin's friends do not want to leave him and they go into battle. All of them are killed and Shin hears the voice of another shepherd. Lena now arrives at the empty Spearhead base and their new pilots arrive. She finds a note from the pilots saying goodbye to her. Lena decides to be a good commander and to keep fighting. Shin has a strange dream where he meets his dead brother and he leaves behind his headless body. Some time passes since Shin and his other pilots have been missing. In that time, Lena has lost her position and now takes care of a normal 86 unit. They are called the Cyclops. While that is happening, Shin wakes up from his strange dreams and all his friends are alive. They have been captured by the Federacy of Giad. Soon Shin and his friends meet Zimmerman and he reveals that they were saved from certain death. The unit spends a month isolated in cells and Zimmerman only then allows Shin and his friends a citizenship. They now have a home and they meet Frederica Rosenfront. Shin and his friends have dinner and then go to bed. Zimmerman is still conflicted if he should be helping the young pilots. It's also revealed that Frederica is an empress of the former Giad Empire. Shin and his friends have now been citizens of the Federacy for 1 month, and they are trying to adjust to their new lives. Shin thinks that the Federacy is a much better place to live when compared to the Republic, as they are at least treated as real humans here. While that is good, the problem is that they still feel like they do not belong here and that many other pilots will die in their place now. Shin and his friends think that they should be in battle fighting with honor. After a while, they decide to join the war once more, and Zimmerman is totally surprised by that news. Zimmerman realizes that he must let them go their own way, but he comes up with an idea that Shin and his friends join the Special Officers School and become officers. Frederica reveals her true name, which is Augusta Frederica Adele Adler. She tells Shin that in her vision she saw him defeat and free Shori, and she now wants Shin to help her free Kiriya. Kiriya is another knight who has been turned into a shepherd. After a while of training, Shin and his friends officially become officers, and they become part of a squad. This squad is led by Greta Wenzel. She shows Shin and his friends the battlefield, and they find old destroyed juggernauts. Frederica also joins the crew and is now part of their official team. She brought Fida with her, who was repaired, making everyone happy. Shin and Nordlicht start to help the Federacy in their fight against Regenleaf mech robots. During the battle, Shin meets Eugene, who is an old friend. Suddenly, many Legion drones arrive, and after a terrible battle, Eugene gets killed. Shin has no other choice but to kill Eugene so that his brain is not used by Legion drones. Soon, Shin hears the news that the battle is not going well and that another Legion wave is coming. The Federacy informs its soldiers that the Legion armies are preparing for a massive attack. The Federacy now decides to prepare its forces for the upcoming attack, and Gret decides to help Shin and give him the Nordlicht Squadron. Soon after that, Frederica visits Shin and she tells him more about Kiriya. She was part of the Nuzan clan and is actually Shin's distant relative, which surprises Shin. He was the personal knight and caretaker of Frederica. However, after losing his family and friends during the war, Kiriya began to descend into madness. With Frederica's apparent death, Kiriya went insane and did not stop himself from being assimilated. He was willing to become a Legion shepherd and swore to destroy all enemies of his princess. Frederica tells Shin that he must think about the future. This makes Shin remember Lena and how much he misses her. In the meantime, Lena is preparing her pilots as news spreads that a brand new Legion attack is coming. The Legion armies are now ready for a full-blown war. They attack the Republic, the Federacy, and other countries all at the same time. They have never had this many drones in their armies, and the attack is so powerful. The Federacy tries to defend themselves, but soon they realize that there are too many Legion drones and they have to fall back. The Nordlicht squad goes on the offensive, and they try to hold back the Legion attackers. Shin starts to attack Legion drones and destroys many of them just by himself. Frederica then has a vision where she sees Shin being happy while killing drones. He goes crazy in her vision. Frederica also sees the entire Republic being destroyed by the Legion forces. In the present, the Legion armies start to fall back, and Frederica tells Shin that he is very similar to Kiri. In the meantime, the Legion armies have invaded the Republic, and Lena's uncle tries to fight them off. Lena has to help her pilots as well to hold off the enemy forces. Lena manages to connect herself to all the pilots at the same time, and while that is happening, Frederica tells Shin that the Republic is about to get destroyed. Lena helps all of her pilots prepare for one last push as they fend off against Legion armies. The Federacy is also in big trouble. Shin and his friends survive heavy bomb attacks, but it's soon revealed that the Legion army has a secret weapon. This weapon is called Morpho, and it can bomb anything and destroy everything. The Federacy sends Nordlicht units to strike the gun and stop it from firing. Greta gets really mad when he realizes that Shin and his unit are being sent to do that mission, which is basically a suicide run. Shin and his friends admit that they would rather die fighting the Legion than run away as they did before. Shin hears some news about the fall of the Republic, and his teammates are worried that he is too upset about Lena. After a week, we see what's happened to the Republic. Everything has been destroyed. As Nordlicht prepares for their mission, Greta gets the army to give them a much better aircraft. Now they do not have to use the old helicopters. Greta also submits herself as the pilot of the aircraft, as it has not been flown in many years and she is the only one with the skill to really fly it. Frederica does not want Shin to go on this mission. She is afraid that he might die, or even worse, he might become a crazy monster like Kiriya did before him. The Federacy and all the surviving soldiers from the other states decide on a full-scale attack long enough to distract the Legion forces so that Shin and his crew can reach their needed target. While the crew is flying towards the Morpho, Shin hears the voice of a black sheep and he starts to smile. The aircraft that Shin and his unit are flying is now really close to the Morpho, and suddenly they get fired on. They now have to drop and try to dodge the upcoming fire. The unit then goes into combat and fights many Legion drones and finally reaches Morpho. In the last moments of the attack, Shin realizes that Morpho is just a trap. there is actually a second Morpho that is now being controlled by Korea. The Morpho fires and the unit barely survives the blast. Korea then is ordered by a mysterious being to withdraw from the battle. Shin and his unit go after Korea, and in the meantime, the Federacy is still fighting off the Legion forces. They also manage to save many surviving soldiers in the battle. Unfortunately, Shin and his friends have no support in the battle as there are no more extra soldiers. They have to deal with legions themselves. After another warning, Korea decides to leave. Shin and his unit decide to take a break as they are really tired. During their break, they discover that Frederica has also gone with them but has been hiding this entire time. They are angry at her but have no choice but to take her to battle. Shin and his unit draw closer to the Morpho, and they are preparing for their final assault. In the meantime, the Federacy is going all out with their attack to keep the Legion armies occupied. While they are in the territory of the Legion armies, Raiden and Shin get into an argument. Raiden tells Shin that he has been acting very aggressive and is not careful in battle as he once was. Raiden demands that Shin calms himself down and protects his friends. He has been so focused on killing Legion drones that he has forgotten about what truly matters. Frederica and Shin talk that same night, and they both admit that they are lost. Frederica just wants to put Korea to peace as a way of amending herself. Shin admits that since he almost died fighting his brother, he cannot feel anything and is barely alive. Shin and his friends continue after the Morpho, but now are always under attack by Legion drones. Raiden gets injured while trying to protect Frederica. Shin tells Frederica to stay behind while he goes and fights Korea on his own. Shin fights against Korea, but soon he gets really injured and cannot use his weapons the right way. Shin is then saved by fire attacks from a distance. He has no idea who is helping him, but now he manages to damage Morpho. Korea is now totally distracted when Frederica arrives at the battle. Frederica tries to get her old friend to stop, but Korea is still filled with rage and out of control. Frederica points a gun at herself, which makes Korea panic. This gives Shin an opening, and he manages to destroy the Morpho, and also destroys Korea. Korea then dies slowly, and a blast consumes both Shin and Frederica. They did not have time to escape. Shin gets blasted very far, but is still very much alive. He falls into a deep state of dreaming. He thinks about how he has survivor's guilt, how much trauma he has, and why he is still alive. When Shin wakes up, he sees several Legion drones that are coming after them. The Legion drones want to harvest his brain. Suddenly, he is rescued by Lena, who is on the battlefield with her device. Lena still has no idea that she is speaking to Shin. Shin does not reveal himself to Lena just yet and asks her about what helped her stay motivated and why is she still fighting for the Republic. Without knowing that she is talking to Shin, Lena admits that her time at the Spearheads has motivated her, and also she wants to win the war and find Shin and the others. Shin decides to leave his robot and show himself to Lena, but suddenly Federacy forces arrive and separate them. After that, Shin is very happy as he has found his reason to live, and it's Lena. All of his crewmates are also happy since now he is acting very differently. They are also proud of Lena that she continued to fight and saved so many pilots in the process. Shin and his group return to Zimmerman and his home. They are also joined by Frederica, and they all celebrate the victory. They have fun, and while that is happening, Shin goes to visit Yujin's grave and says that he is sorry for not being able to save him. Shin promises that he will explore the world as he now has a purpose in life and can be happy. After that, he meets up with Marcel, who's very sorry for blaming Shin for what happened with Yujin. After some time since the battle, Shin and his friends join the Independent Mobile, and now they will be the most important unit in attacking the Legion forces. They are also led by a foreign leader. Shin visits a memorial to all the fallen pilots in the Federacy, and there he leaves Shorei's tag. Shin has finally accepted that his brother is gone, and he wants to live a full life and save his friends from the same fate. The Federacy joins the Republic, and they manage to defeat some of the Legion forces and liberate certain areas. The Republic now decides to allow some pilots to move to the Federacy, where they can be full citizens. Annette and Lena decide to also join the Federacy and continue their work there. When she arrives at the Federacy, Lena meets the members of the Independent Mobile Force she now leads. She is very shocked and happy to see that Shin is alive and his friends as well. They are now working together once more, and they decide to do everything they can to defeat the Legion and make sure that there is peace for all.